Hi everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to another Cocoa Vanilla Studio Design Team Layout. Today I'm going to be working with this cute candy cane cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict cut files. And I've cut that out in black and backed it with the A5 paper stack from the Joyful collection. I'm going to be scrapping this cute photo of my kids from 2019. It was a Santa photo from that year. And I end up cropping it more than I intended to. I really didn't like the glare of the studio lights off the front of that sleigh. So I do cut most of that white part of the sleigh off. I just felt like it was really, I don't know, it was kind of taken away from the kids in the photo. So I just chopped that out. Now I'm going through all the 12 by 12 pattern papers, and I do end up going with the first one I pulled out, which is the Advent sheet, and that is the B side, that soft pink plaid. So that is going to be my background paper. And just cutting off the branding strip, and I'm going to map my photo in the A5 paper stack as well. So I love this paper stack. I've used it heaps so far. I usually do like them, but I especially like this collection's A5 papers. Just really loving those smaller prints, and I'm really loving that dark green that you can see off to the right there, and that I've used to back the leaves of the candy cane with. That is a light mint green in the 12 by 12s, I'm pretty sure, and I'm just really, I'm using it again to map my photo. I'm just really loving that green in particular. There's also a really beautiful mustard pattern paper in that I've used to back the bow on the candy cane. That doesn't come in a 12 by 12 version, so if you want that paper, you definitely want to grab the A5 paper stack. It's super, super pretty. Right, now I'm going to do some splatters. So I've just come in with a couple of my Distress Oxides in, I didn't have quite the right green to match the collection. So I have mixed two together. I've mixed Peacock Feathers and Rustic Wilderness. So that gives me that perfect in the middle green color that I was looking for. So I've just added a little bit of water, mixed those together, and I'm just doing some really delicate splatters of that all over the background. Then I'm also going to use the spray, and that is sponge sugar. I'm just using the nozzle to splatter that around. And I'm also going to use mustard seed. I wanted a mustard color, and this is definitely not mustard. It's quite bright yellow. It is more on the mustard side of yellow, but it was too yellow. It didn't match the mustard of that paper that I've used in the cut file. So what I've done is just added a bit of Distress, not oxide, just the normal Distress ink in brush corduroy, which is a brown. So if you want a mustard, you can just add a little bit of a brown to a yellow, which is what I'm doing here. So I ran out, so I mixed up some more. I'm just using a messy mat there to do that, and that has all dried. So now I've brought back across my photo and my cut file. Now the photo is quite large. I did cut it down from a 8 by 10, I think, but it ended up being around a 4 by 6 by the time I was finished with it. And then I have that cut file there as well. So once I've got those two down, that takes up quite a bit of the page. So I've left a space just below my photo here for my title. I couldn't resist the Hey Santa from the Puffy gold titles because it's perfect for this layout. So I'm just going to put that down exactly how it's laid out on the plastic. I just really liked that orientation, so I'm going to follow that. And I just love these. Oh, they're so beautiful, so highly metallic, bright and shiny, so perfect for Christmas. I love that font. So just get that down. That is exactly where I want it to go, so I'm just going to stick that straight down. And now I can work on embellishing. So I have pulled out the chipboard stickers. I had to use this Here Comes Santa Claus banner because it fits just perfectly, and I have space at the top of my photo there. I also absolutely fell in love with this little, I think it says Santa's Workshop. It's like a, flagpole, just perfect. It fits off nicely off to the side there. So I'm just going to tuck that underneath my photo from one end and overlap at the top. And then I've pulled the two candy canes off the chipboard sheet because I already have that one big candy cane, so I thought it would be nice to create two smaller clusters and include a candy cane or chipboard candy cane in each of those to kind of just keep things cohesive. So this is going to be one of my clusters down at the bottom corner here, just to kind of help balance everything overall. I really love that cute little squirrel with the gift, so he's going there. I'm also going to put that tall pink gift as well, and I use quite a few of the little gift die cuts here. So this is just from the die cut ephemera pack. I'm going to layer them up. So my second cluster will go to the side of my photo there off to the right, and then I'll create another smaller cluster just there, just to the side of that candy cane, just so it's not sitting there all by itself. And just tucking in some presents and some leaves, and I like those little phrase banners as well, so a couple of those sneak their way in. I did move that one around quite a bit, but I do end up just putting it straight across the front of the bow where I had it in the first place. Still not sure if I love that there, but I don't know. I couldn't find anywhere better, so that's where it ends up. I also use some of these little wood buttons. They're really, really sweet, so I've put one of those in each of the clusters. I did toy with the idea of putting that one over the top of one of the little berries because it fit perfectly there, but it just looked a bit weird, so I moved it. I do actually end up putting it back off to the right of that little gift. And then I have the accessory stickers here. I'm just going to use 2 of these cute little phrase stickers because the gold foiling on these is just so delicious. I can't resist it. So I've just put Christmas Spirit and Santa's Helpers just below my title as kind of journaling. I wanted to add a little bit more black because I have the black of the cut file there, and I just wanted to tie everything in a little more. So I'm going to outline each of these little pieces in black. I'll come in with my black pen again in a minute. Also going to pop up some of my pieces on foam just to create some extra depth and dimension. I just wasn't quite sure what I was doing here, so I do end up pulling the foam off of that phrase piece, and I'm going to pop up my little gift instead. And I'm just going to layer that chipboard candy cane behind it slightly. And now with all my leaves, I'm going to bend them up and put a tiny square of foam adhesive at the top and glue the stem down below my cluster. This will make a lot more sense in a minute. So a little foam square at the tip of the leaf, a bit of glue down at the stem, and then tuck the stem under so that the top of the leaf sits up off the page, creates a bit of shadow and dimension, makes it look nice in 3D. So there we go, that little cluster is pretty much finished. I'm going to adhere my cut file down now because I am sure that's not going anywhere else. So just a bit of tacky glue behind that, nice and secure. And then I just glue that down straight across there. I think I popped this little gift up, yep, so just a strip of foam behind him. I'm just using pre-cut foam rectangles, makes my life a little bit easier. And again, I've just gone through, you can see that, and bent those leaves, or curled them up rather, to create that kind of 3D effect. And a little square of foam behind the tip of each leaf. Tuck those in like that, and little wood button. And then I pulled out the puffy stickers because I love puffies and I wanted some more little gifts, and these are the perfect size. They're quite a bit smaller than the ephemera, so they fit in just nicely. And this is the point I realized I hadn't actually glued any of this cluster down, so I'm going to start doing that now. Pop my little pink puffy gift in there. I love puffy stickers, they're my absolute favorite embellishment. And just quickly whiz through and glue all these other bits down for you. And then I'll add a little sprig from the puffies to each of my clusters, kind of like that it's falling out of the clusters. I love doing that. Trim off this little overhanging bit. And then I'm going to come in with some more puffies. I wanted to add a couple of critters because I have a cute little squirrel at the bottom there. So I've added a bunny to that one, and then I perched a little bird on top of the candy cane right at the top there. It's very sweet. And now I'm just adding some more black pen. Like I said, I'm just doing a messy, sketchy border all the way around the outside of my layout. Again, just to bring in some more of that black and kind of ground everything in together. And I'm just doing some kind of faux zigzag stitching in random places around the edge as well. And now you get to watch me muck around with some gold thread for ages. So I really wanted to add some of this gold thread. I don't often do the messy thread nests, but I don't know, I was inspired to do it. I had some pieces left out from my last layout, so I thought I would give it a go, and it's an absolute nightmare. This thread, it doesn't like to bend, it doesn't like to stay, it doesn't like to glue, it's very springy. So you curl it up and it springs back straight. Anyone who's worked with this stuff knows what a nightmare it is, but I ended up getting it to make some pretty nice little messy thread circles in the end. I get there after a lot of mucking around. So you can see I'm just curling it up with my fingers, doing a little loopy loop, and then doing a big blob of glue underneath my embellishment cluster and kind of poking it in there and hoping it stayed. A lot of mucking around, took me a while, but I got there in the end. And then finally, I'm just going to add 3 of these beautiful little stars off the puffy titles to each of my clusters, just randomly scattering them around. And that is my layout finished. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed watching. The link to the blog post is in the description box if you would like to read about all the materials I used. And that is it from me. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.